Today I will be giving solutions for the Euclid 2023 math contest for questions 4 to 6. So for the first question, part A says that Liang and Edmundo paint at different but constant rates. Liang can paint a room in 3 hours if she works alone. Edmundo can paint the same room in 4 hours if he works alone. Liang works alone for 2 hours and then stops. Edmundo finishes painting the room. How many minutes will Edmundo need to finish painting the room? Okay, so here the question gives us that Liang can paint a room in 3 hours if she works alone. So this means that in 1 hour, so Liang is can work 1/3 of the room per hour because she can finish the whole room in 3 hours. So in 1 hour, she could finish 1/3 of the room. And for Edmundo, he can finish it 1/4 of the room per hour. And it says that Liang worked by herself for 2 hours. So that means she worked for 2/3 of the room. And since the total finishing the room is 1, you subtract 1 from 2/3, which gives us 1/3. And this is the amount that Edmundo has to finish. Since Edmundo works 1/4 hour per hour, if Edmundo works x hours, then Edmundo would work 1/4 multiplied by x, and that has to equal to 1/3, since that's how much the room cleaning is painting is left. So if you just do this simple solve this simple equation, multiply both sides by 4, then x equals to 4/3 hour. And the question asks for the time in minutes. So since there are 60 minutes in 1 hour, you simply multiply 4/3 times 60, which gives us 80. So that is our final answer, 80 minutes. For the second question, the question asks that on January 1st, 2021, an investment had a value of 400, and every year for the next year, the investment increased by 8%, and on the following year, the investment decreased by 8%. So since for increased by 8%, this means that we could represent this by making it 1 plus 100 over a, since 8% is equal to a over 100, and increased by 8% means the original value, which is 1, and then adding a over 100. And decreased by 8% means that it is 1 minus 100, 1 minus a over 100, because that is how much it got decreased from the original amount. And so since the starting value here is 400, we start from 400 and we multiply this by 1 plus a over 100, because that's how much money it got increased from from the year 2021 to year 2022. And you multiply it by 1 minus a over 100, because that's how much it got decreased from the year 2022 to year 2023. So and lastly, the final investment money was 391, so that should equal to 391. And now we just solve it. If we divide both sides by 400 to make it simple, that equals to 391 over 400. And if we expand this, this is the perfect square, so 1 squared minus a over 100 to the power equals 400 over 391. So if we move this here and move this here, then we get 1 minus 400, 1 minus 391 over 400 equals 100, a over 100 squared. And luckily, this is 9 over 400, which is equal to a over 100 squared. And the left side is also could be squared as well, like this. A over 100 squared. So okay, so not 220. Yep. So the insides here should be the same. So 3 over 20 equals to a over 100. So a has to equal to 15. And the question asks for determine all possible values for a, but we only got one answer, and that is correct. So a equals 15. Question number 5, part A. Suppose that fx equals to x squared plus 2n minus 1x plus n squared minus 22 for some integer n. What is the smallest positive integer n for which fx has no real roots? So when it says no real roots, it means that there is no x value. So we have to use discriminant d, which is usually b squared minus 4ac. So if in this case it should be less than 0, since there are no real roots. Because to further explain, if this is the coordinate, this has 2, this has 1, and this has no real roots. So this is d is greater, d is equal to 0, and d is smaller than 0. So in this case, it would be b squared minus 4ac is less than 0. So we just plug it in, 2n minus 1 squared minus 4 n squared minus 22 times 1, but it's the same, so equals 0. So if we just expand this, then this gets cancelled out, and minus 4n plus 89 is less than 0, which is 4n is greater than 89, and 4n, and if we divide both sides by n, you could plug into calculator. This is like 22.25. So the smallest positive integer for n has to be 23. Pretty simple and straightforward if you know the discriminants. And for part B, the question says that the triangle PQR has PQ equals A, QR equals B, line PR equals 21, and PQR, it has 60 degrees. And also in the triangle STU, the line ST is A, line TU has a length of B, and TSU is 30 degrees. And it also says that sine TUS is 4 over 5. So from the looks of it, you have to know that this question wants us to use some sine laws and cosine laws. So first, if you look at the first PQR triangle, it gives you one side and two variables that have 60 degrees between it. So from this, you should know that we should use a cosine law. So PR squared equals A squared plus B squared minus 2AB times cosine 60 degrees. So you should remind yourself for formulas when you are preparing for these tests. So that is 21 squared equals A squared plus B squared minus 2AB times, and cosine 60 degrees is 1 over 2, or you could plug into calculator if you want, but I memorized it. So 21 squared is 441 equals A squared plus B squared minus AB. And unfortunately, as of now, we can't find the value of A and B because there are two variables and one equation. So we will just leave it this for now, and that's the reason why the question gave us a second triangle, which gave us a 30-degree value and A and B as well. And since the question also gave us the sine value of TUS, which is 4 over 5, I think we have to use sine law for this. So if you remember sine law, ST over sine, this will the opposite, so this, which is TUS, equals to TU. I just did B because the opposite side is sine 30, which is a thing from special triangle. And since the question also gave us the value of sine TUS, we could just plug that in. So A over 4 over 5 equals to B over, and sine 30 is 1 over 2. So if we just cross multiply, 1 over 2, 1 A over 2 equals 4B over 5. And if we multiply both sides by 2, A equals 8B over 5. So we get this another relationship with A and B, and we could plug the A value into here to finish off and find the value of B. So this is gonna be a bit complex since it's fractions, but let's do it. 441 equals 64b squared over 25 plus b squared minus 5ab squared. I just did it in my head. You guys could write it down if you guys like. So 441 equals 25 over, since b squared is 25 over 25, 25b squared over 25, we just added to get 89b squared, and we subtract like this. And 441 equals 25 over 89 minus 40b squared, which equals to 25 over 49b squared. And this is kind of lucky for us since 441 was 21 squared, and this is also squared on the right side like this. So if we make it here, the inside 21 equals to 7b over 5, and multiply, or just multiply both sides by 5 over 10, 5 over 7 I mean, because that makes the right side b. So 15 equals b. Yeah, so we found the value of b, and the question asks for determine the values of a and b. So a should be from here 5ab, 5ab. So like this, which equals to 24. So we found both values of A equals to 24 and B equals to 15. A triangle of area of 770 centimeters squared is divided into 11 regions of equal height by 10 lines that are all parallel to the bases of the triangle. Starting from the top of the triangle, every other region is shaded. What is the total area of the shaded region? So the key point of this question is that is divided by all equal height and that is parallel. This means that we could use some similar triangles and some ratios to solve this question. And since the image was small for me to label, I just brought a bigger picture. So first, I'm just gonna define this length as k and the height of this as h. So it's kind of hard to see. So this is k and this is h. And since everything is equally divided, the first triangle, I'll use a different color, red. This triangle would be similar to this triangle by 1:2 ratio because the height is doubled, and the red triangle would be similar to the third triangle as well by 1:3 because the height is tripled. And if you think about it that way, the bottom here, since it's divided into 10 equal parts with 10 lines, this should be 11k. Or you could just count like this is k, this is 2k, 3k, 4k, 5k, 6k, 7k, 8k, 9k, 10k, and then 11k. And same for the height. This height should be 11h as well. So the question says that the area of this whole thing is 770 centimeters. So 1/2 times 11k times 11h equals to 770. So if we simplify this a bit, 121 kh equals 77 times 2, which is equal to 0.1540. So we can't simplify it even more. We just have to just wait on this until we find other information. So we are asking for, we have to find the total area of the shaded region. So the shaded region, unfortunately, we have to calculate the area, but let's just label this so that we don't get confused. A, B1, B2, B3, and like so on. And this is C1, C2, C3, and so on. So the area of shaded region is what we want to find right now. But for now, we have to calculate each single shaded area. So first of all, triangle A, B1, C1 is just 1 kh over 2, and the shaded region of the B2, C2, B3, C3 would be A, B3, C3 triangle minus A, B1, A, B1, C1, because the whole thing, I'll erase this part, the whole thing subtracted by the top or the second triangle equals this shaded area. So I actually made a mistake here. It should be A, B2, C2. Yeah. So yeah, this triangle as well. So if we calculate this, the triangle AB3, C3 would be, since this is 3K, it would be 1/2 times 3K times 3H, since the height would be 3H as well, subtracted by 1/2. A, B2, C2 would be 2K times 2H, which is equal to 9KH over 2 minus 4KH over 2, which is equal to 5KH over 2. And as you can see, if we also calculate the third shaded area, which is this one, this is B4, B5, C4, C5. So B4, C4, B5, C5. We would have to do the same thing but in a larger triangle. And as you can see from the previous, it's like a difference of squares, kind of. The first triangle is like 3 times 3, and the smaller triangle is like 2 times 2, and you subtract them. So the next one, the bigger triangle, triangle A and B5, C5, subtracted by A, triangle A, B4, C4 would be equal to 1/2 times 5K times 5H minus 1/2 times 4K times 4H. So as you can see here, this would equal to 2/9KH if you simplify it. So it's like 5 times 5 and divided by 2 minus 4 times 4 divided by 2. So the next one should also be similar to that. So this one, not enough space, so we'll move it to here. So we just continue this. That would be just 2/36 minus, or not 36, since there's 2, 3, 4, 5. So next will be 6 and 7. So 7 squared minus 6 squared, KH would be the next, which is equal to 2/13KH. And the next would be 2/17KH, because if you think about it, it starts from 1/2KH and then 5KH over 2 and then 9KH over 2. So it's increasing by 2KH. So the next would be 17KH over 2. So this area we did was 9KH over 2. This is 13KH over 2. And this is 17KH over 2. And the last one would be 21KH over 2. Yep. So the final one would be 21KH over 2. So if we add all this up, 1/2 plus 5/2 plus 9/2 plus 13/2 plus 17/2 plus 21/2 KH, this equals to, this is 6, 15, 18, 25, 46, which equals to 23 KH. 6, 15, 28. Oh, I did it wrong. Let's do it again. 6, 15, 28. 28 plus 17 is 45. And then 66. So 66 over 2 KH, which is equal to 33 KH. And the question, or the what we found here, KH equals to 1540 over 121. Oh, this actually simplifies if we divide both sides by 11. That would be 140. So since KH equals 140 over 11, we could plug the KH value into this expression. So if we do the math, then 33 times 140 over 11, this simplifies 3, and this equals to 420. So finally, this is the shaded area of the region, and that is our final answer. And this was a bit tough, a bit time consuming, but I hope you guys understood the my concepts and my solution. And for B, this question was pretty unique for me because I had to be a bit creative. So a square lattice of 16 points is constructed such that the horizontal and vertical distance between adjacent points are all exactly 1 unit. Each of 4 pairs of points are connected by a line segment as shown. The intersection of the line segments are the vertices of square ABCD, and it's asked for the area of here. So at first, there's not a lot of given information, and many people struggle on how to find the length. And this is not even a square, I think, but or maybe it is. Yeah, it is because it's intersected. But anyways, how would we solve this question? So I thought of it as coordinates, like graph. Like this is the y-axis, this is the x-axis, and since exactly 1 unit for each dot, this will be like 1, 0, like 3, 0 here, 4, 0, and this will be 3, 1, 4, no, oh yeah, 4, 1, my bad. This is 2, 0, and this is 3, 0. Three, 2. Oh my god, I'm kind of trolling right now. This is 0, 2, and this is 0, 3. Yep. And then we could find the line of since we know the coordinates. Let me finish this first. 1, 3. Yeah. So I will call this or I'll just name it like this. So the equation for DC, how will we find the equation for DC? Since we know that it passes 0, 0 and 1, 3, we could find the line, which is y equals 3x, because the slope is 3 over 1. And for line AB, which crosses 1 comma 0 and 2 comma 3. Y equals 3x, and if we plug it in, it's 3x minus 1. Yeah, I'm just skipping steps here because it's gonna take too long then. So I'm just doing it in my head. But if you're in a test, I would recommend to write everything down so you don't make a mistake. So then the line of CB, which is this one, passes 0 comma 2 and 3 comma 1, and this is y equals x plus 2. The DA line would go past 0 comma 3 and 3 comma 2, so y equals 2 minus 1 over 3x, and then plus 3. So if we find the D coordinate first, D passes on line CD and AD. So if we find the intersection of it, we would find the value of D. So line AD was minus x over 3 plus 3, which is equal to the line CD, which is 3x. So if we solve this equation, 3 over 10x equals 3, then x equals to 10 over 9, and then y equals to 10 over 27 if we plug the x here. So the coordinate of D is 9 over 10 over 27 over 10. And after this, we just have to find coordinates A or C to find the length. Since this is a square, one side would be same with another. Okay, so I realized that the AB here is y equals 3x plus 3 and not 3x minus 1. So if we resume after finding D, and we have to find A coordinates, this will be from the line AD and AB. So the intersection of those two lines is the coordinate of A. So the line AB is 3x minus 3, which is equal to line AD, which is this. And if we solve this, 6, and x equals to 18 over 10. So we could simplify it, but I will leave it because the 10 here and 10 here are both the same denominators, and the y value would be 1018 times 3 minus 3, which is equal to 10 over 54 minus 30, which is equal to 24 over 10. And if you guys remember the formula for finding distance between two coordinates, we would need to plug that in. So the line AD squared would be equal to root 1018 minus 9 like this, plus 2410 minus 27 over 10 like this, and that would simplify to 100 over 81 plus 100 over 9. Oh, what is this? Which is equal to root 100 over 90, which is equal to root 90 over 10. But we didn't have to go this far because we are finding the area of ABCD, and the area of ABCD is AD squared. So we have already AD equals, yeah, because I did the root. But all in all, if we want to find AD squared, then this is equal to 100 over 90, which is equal to 9 over 10, and that would be our final answer.